Hello and welcome to the next ReeVlog. Been a long day so far. It's far from over though, but that's okay. I'm out, getting some fresh air. Can't complain. Sat on a tree that's fallen over. I'm gonna move down the tree a little bit, just so I'm less conspicuous, in case anyone's walking around. So I've applied for a bunch of jobs today. It's a slow process, but whatever. After my brother decided to tell me that I have to apply for jobs, because I should get a job, because I need to plan long term for owning a property. I feel as though he's trying to force his values upon me, to be honest, which is a far from ideal thing to do, and having a job is all well and good, but I want to focus on my training and my business, the two of which are very much interlinked, and I realise he's trying to help, but it's not a very helpful thing to do, to push his values on me. I wish I'd said as much at the time, though he would have probably been offended by it. Regardless, I am on my way to the shop to buy milk, because I ran out. I've also started my application for funding to grow my business. It's going to be a long time to get that going. I've scheduled a meeting for next Tuesday afternoon to get the business for advice about this application, and sort of to explain my situation and all of that stuff. Also, I have signed off on an offer for council staff in the local area, getting a 25% discount for 2-hour sessions if they let me know that they work for that council, and so that's going to be distributed through their internal marketing, and hopefully that'll result in a few people contacting me for lessons. I've also done a bit of very quick maths and worked out that a gazebo, £500, would be big enough to do group class. Oh my god, a hornet. That's terrifying. I'm just gonna jump off this tree real quick to avoid the hornet. Big, red, angry hornet. Hopefully there's not a hornet's nest nearby, so most likely there is. What was I saying? Math, yes. Gazebo. If I were to get one of those, which is one of the things I've put in my funding request, I would be able to do outdoor group classes, sheltered from the weather, because that's one thing that I know of, is a lot of people aren't okay with training outdoors in the rain and stuff. But if I were to get a gazebo that's sheltered from the weather, I can put my mats down on the inside, meaning we can do breakfalls and stuff if need be, and they will also be protected from the weather. And overall, that would mean that when I've moved out, I won't need to use that room that I use at the moment. Though I think I would still prefer to use that for the foreseeable future. It would mean I wouldn't have to pay rent costs or anything related to it. Which reminds me, I need to talk about my grandparents about rent whilst they live at theirs. What else? The gazebo thing, yes. At the moment, rule of 6 applies. So I could do exercise outside, self-defense, because that comes under sports and exercise stuff. But it'd be rule of 6. But I'm thinking of charging £5 per person, which would mean it'd be £30 per session, so it'd be £30 an hour I'll be making. Eventually, I'll be able to go up to 12 people, maybe 15, which would therefore, if I get that many people, of course, getting that many people is the hard part, I would then be a little bit better off, because if I were able to get 3 sessions of 10 people per week, that'd be 30 people at £5 an hour, which would therefore be £150 a week, plus 10 one-to-one clients at £10 an hour, be another 100, so that'd be £250 a week, and thus I would be making myself a reasonable profit. Of course, my projected timeline on this, because I have to think about such things as a business owner, puts it at starting the, profits like that wouldn't be until sort of end of next year, beginning of the following year. But I would expect them to reach around that level-ish by the end of the following year. So that would be 2022. And certainly by the beginning of 2023. Which, is good. I think that I'd be able to turn a profit before then, if it weren't for the COVID thing. But the most reasonable expectations for it ending are the end of next year. And then you've got to give a buffer period whilst people sort of get back to working normally, places hire people, and they work up the finance and get back into a routine where they'll then feel comfortable getting a regular commitment to something else. Having factored all those things together, I still think it's a good idea to focus on my business more than external work. My reasoning for that is because whilst the business may not be earning me any money and I'm mooching from the government and all of that, the longer I spend on it, the more experience I'll get at working on it, which means when I do get more people, I'll be better equipped to handle it. On top of which, if I were to close the business or delay the posting of stuff on social media and all of that, which I would have to do if I were to get a sort of medium-time employment, I think anything more than 20-25 hours a week would seriously hamper my ability to do the business, especially if it was a job that I didn't like, or working with people I didn't like. I would have to sort of do less on the business. I'd have to do less on the business anyway, but I don't think it would affect it too much up to that point. It would affect my training more so, which still is bad, but not as bad, because I can only train as much as, for Kung Fu at least, I can only train as much as my instructor teaches me. And for MMA, I'm still building into that fitness that I really need to get. Which is really dull, and it's going to take a lot of effort for me in the brain to be able to put out the exercises required consistently for the body, which is why I sort of would like to hire additional people, but I need the funding and all of that. So the jobs I've applied for are all ones that I think I could tolerate, which don't have extraordinary work hours. Things like cleaners and warehouse operatives. There's another one that I've applied for, but I don't remember what it is, that I thought was pretty cool. And also a couple of sales positions, part-time, and night shifts places, which would be good. Yeah, that's my day so far. As I said earlier, I'm going to get some milk. In my journey for milk, I'm going to probably go for a little bit longer a walk, but not too long, because my knee is really not in a great state at the moment. I've been resting it today as best I can whilst doing the writing and stuff on the computer. What else? Yeah, I've also planned ahead for the next few days. Might be doing a review tomorrow, but I might not. We'll see if I have time for it or not. As a hobby, a mildly productive hobby, because it doesn't directly help me with anything, but it does help my writing skills, staying up to scratch and all that. Yeah. After I get back, I have to have some purposeful relaxation time, which I'm probably just going to spend laying, listening to an audiobook, bracing my knee, so raised, iced, elevated, and compressed, and then I've got D&D this evening, which is purposeful relaxation time as well. But as far as I can recall, this is the first purposeful relaxation this week. Apart from like the occasions where I've been like super tired and had to have a nap. So yeah, I just need a bit of me time. But I'll also be doing some training in between now and Kung Fu because I've got a few hours yet. I don't know what the time is. I guess it's probably about 4. So I've got 3 hours, which that's fine. Hour of relaxation, hour of exercise, and then wash, and then D&D. My relaxation will probably be in the bath, so I can do that and wash, then exercise, which I can do in minimal clothing to maximise cooling and minimise stank, and then D&D, and then I'll have a shower again in the morning, because it's time to change my bedclothes anyway. So, I will catch you cats on the flip-flop. I'm going to go under the tree I was on, that now has a squirrel on it, but had a hornet on it. Oh, the squirrel's gone. But it's the one that has the hornet on it, and yeah, I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop. I feel like I've already said that.